Nick Cage.
From self-aware superheroes to the crossover event of the 90s, Hollywoodland loves to make things meta.
It all sounds like some bad movie.
Sometimes these fourth-wall breaking flirtations go further than in-jokes and referential nods by straight-up casting an actor as themselves.
Malkovich.
When done right, it can be joyous and rejuvenating, allowing a performer to savagely deconstruct their media persona and show off the warped reality behind our collective celebrity obsessions.
Hey, what's up, man? Y'all cool?
When done wrong, it feels like a smug, trouser-stroking ego boost masquerading as modest self-deprecation.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
If John Malkovich and Seth Rogen can star in warped feature-length reflections of the men behind the marquee, then what better subject for the self-reflexive treatment than Nicolas Cage with 2022's The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
This is the role of a lifetime, and I'd really love to be a part of it.
Marketed as a surreal dive through the life and legend of this erratic master, instead it's a buoyant but shallow splash that rarely breaches the surface of what makes Nick tick.
You listen to me. You're Nick fucking... Whoa, Cage!
Struggling with familial strife, financial woes, and a stagnating career, Nick Cage accepts $1 million to spend a long weekend with an ostentatious superfan at an island retreat. From here, Cage finds himself snagged in a twisty tale of drug cartel kidnap plots, CIA operatives, and espionage, wherein he must call upon his supreme acting talents to save the day.
It's pretty hard to find an audience these days, right?
Unless you're a Marvel movie, Star Wars, whatever, yeah.
Doesn't sound like this is that.
No, Vivian, it isn't. This is an intelligent film for grown-ups.
If you've been watching In Frame Out for any length of time, you'll know me as an ardent defender of this man.
What are these fucking iguanas doing on my coffee table?
There ain't no iguana.
Yeah, there are.
As one of the few actors to enrich and expand the form past the modern theatrical bias towards realism and believability, Cage is capable of invigorating and opening up a performance far beyond what an audience may be accustomed to. Yet, despite his impressive portfolio and a recent critical resurgence, he's too often reduced to a played-out meme.
Oh yeah! You put your right foot in, you take your right foot out, you do the hokey and you fucking work it all out!
A laughingstock of contextually clipped compilations, divorced of their intention and artistry, so schadenfreuders can crack wise about what they perceive to be weird. What a relief then to find that The Unbearable Weight has no interest in mocking Nicolas Cage as either a person or a professional.
I mean, in any other job, hard work is something to behold, but with film performance, you're making too many movies, Nick. You're working too hard, Nick. Have the audience miss you more, Nick. I mean, hello, it's my job. I pay my bills. I feed my family. You're annoying. Gosh.
Yes, there are good-natured references to his financial follies and prolific straight-to-VOD output, but it's all part of a day-glow celebration that winks at public perceptions without feeling the need to punch below the belt.
We're back. Not that we went anywhere.
Not that we went anywhere.
Maybe the smartest decision this film makes is personifying the collective goodwill fans have for this atypical icon with the character of Javi.
You have a gift. And that gift brings light and joy to an increasingly dark and broken world.
Now, Javi's not here for some "in spite all my rage, I'm still just a Nicolas Cage memery," or to facilitate a freakout. He doesn't differentiate between the vaporwave grindhouse of Mandy,
Mandy is a masterpiece.
or the kinetic ballet of Face Off.
#1 Face Off.
Oh, thank you.
That's because Javi is the cinephilic embodiment of unconditional love. Not just in terms of Javi and Cage's budding bromance, which is ruddy adorable,
I fucking love you! I love you!
but in a grander sense, the unconditional love of cinema itself.
What is your third favorite movie of all time?
Paddington 2.
What?
The genuinely sweet notion that, by letting our preconceptions and knee-jerk judgments float away, we open ourselves up to so many more avenues of lasting enjoyment and emotional connection. Be that learning to appreciate the electric eclecticism that drives Nicolas Cage's impassioned performances, or by dropping the scholarly snobbery and accepting that Paddington 2 is a modern masterpiece that rivals just about any art house obscurity you can think to name.
Paddington 2 is incredible.
This is about finding something to adore in places we may not typically think to look.
I'm pretty sure that's the actor Nick Cage.
That motherfucker from Moonstruck?
Moonstruck? No, from Face Off. Wait.
I've got to say, if a film could skirt by on good vibes and undeniable charm alone, the unbearable weight of massive talent would be taking up a permanent residency in my heart. Unfortunately, and I'm really sad to say, good intentions and an affable duo are but faint drops of genius in a sea of unrealised conceptual potential. Which is made all the more disappointing when you realise that, despite its "this is Nicolas Cage" as Nicolas Cage selling point, this ain't Cage's first self-reflexive rodeo.
Bullshit, Mom!
By my estimation, it's at least the fourth time a filmmaker has carved out a meta-cinema celebration of the many sides of Nicolas Cage.
I guess I'm not exactly sure what that means.
I'm not sure I know what that means either.
First, you've got Face Off, a film that revels in Cage's impressionistic/nouveau shamanistic belief that the human face is a malleable mask, a tool of truth and deception, chaos and calm. Face Off is a movie that relies on the warring dualities of Cage's reputation at the tail end of the 90s, with a helter-skeltering nonconformist Cage battling it out against the family-friendly sweetheart Cage. Then there's Adaptation, where we further delve into the two halves of Cage's creative id.
That's kind of weird, huh? It's self-indulgent, it's narcissistic, it's solipsistic, it's pathetic.
A twitching flop sweat yin, and a personable, optimistic yang. One half neurotically kicking against convention, the other a humble entertainer happy to play the game. Most recently, we had Pig, a self-referential ballad wherein our lead character represents Nicolas Cage's ever-shifting role within the studio system. A once towering figure of critical and commercial success who, following several personal hardships, retreats to the periphery of his chosen industry, toiling away beyond the prestige and applause until he's brought back to the forefront by aspiring, independent, creative minds.
You get that, right? None of it is real. The critics aren't real. The customers aren't real.
Now, in all three of those examples, you can watch and enjoy the film without ever engaging with the meta-narrative elements, and have a great time because everything surrounding their intellectual ambitions is thoughtful and entertaining in their own right. Despite the unbearable weight of Massive Talent being the first self-reflexive work that is specifically about Nicolas Cage on every conceivable level, what we have here is a brilliant idea without the left field follow-through to make it truly sing.
Action!
Leaving us with a muddled karaoke that's fun enough to watch, but seldom hits the high notes it's clearly aspiring to.
Sun rising, sun rising.
For every appropriately off-kilter, oddball moment of fringe lunacy, there are mammoth stretches built on stock gags and patience testing predictability. Which leaves genuinely brilliant moments chafing up against some woeful attempts at more traditional comedy.
Goodbye, Nicolas Cage. I'll never forget you, man. You go! Mr. Cage? Turns out we could have just walked around.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Whatever. But TV, be more funny!
It all started to feel like I was watching a figure of peaks, valleys, and impossible range, boxed in and asked to sleepwalk through a caper that could charitably be called boilerplate.
He wrote the screenplay and he wants Nick to star in it.
Throw that in the fucking trash.
Now, I'm not going to defend someone taking one of the most fascinating figures in cinema and diluting his substance down to a substandard farce, but I will say this. While I think the movie suffers enormously due to boring characters, tedious contrivance, and lazy gags, I do understand why the filmmakers chose to surround a high-strung dynamo with so much narcoleptic nothingness. To briefly appropriate a crude, misogynistic, and deeply shitty piece of teen slang, everything except Nick and Javi is the cinematic equivalent of the Duff Principle.
What?
Duff. D-U-F-F. Designated ugly fat friend.
Yeah, it's a wretched term that you may know because someone made a surprisingly okay film about it, but for those who don't know what it means, a Duff's role within a group is to make everyone else in their immediate vicinity look better by comparison.
What?
The Unbearable Weight's plot and supporting cast are, in effect, the dull, uninspired, fluffy filler meant to create an even more pronounced contrast between the ordinary everyday and the extraordinary strangeness of Nicolas Cage, hoping that the juxtaposition on its own will be enough to offset the bracing blandness of it all.
Jesus Christ.
But here's the rub. By taking an actor who's revered precisely because he takes risks and bucks convention, and anchoring him to the most cookie-cutter mishmash of holiday hijinks, that's like asking Miles Davis to cover Machine Gun Kelly.
Miles Davis was a heroin addict. I mean, I love him, he was a maestro, but...
Sure, I'd probably line up to see what a genius can make out of 4 chords and a coffee can full of dog shit, but you can only go so far before you smash nose first into the limitations of the format. Which brings me to the too cute by half manner in which the unbearable weight of Massive Talent addresses these failings and more, whilst tapping along to its meta backbeat.
In terms of genre, I like comedies, but not when it's just two people sitting around talking.
Oh man, I can't stand talky comedies.
At around about the halfway mark, Nick and Javi start collaborating on a screenplay, a script that just so happens to be for the exact film we are currently watching.
Maybe this movie, maybe it's about this. About us. Our relationship.
Cue plenty of softball swipes they make about the structure, plot, and utilization of unimaginative tropes.
Why don't you add a plot line to your movie where someone gets kidnapped? I think a kidnapping could give this movie a wider appeal.
When a movie tries to inoculate itself against valid critiques by calling attention to its own defects, it's all just a slow-motion jerk-off gesture that I like to call irony armor.
Who kidnaps her?
Bad guys.
Feels like a completely different movie.
Javi, please, just walk down the road with me on this.
Wherein the filmmakers try to pretend that anything that you find disagreeable about the film is bad on purpose.
The finale is about two men saving the girl? That's terrible.
Now, that kind of writing can work if your name is Charlie Kaufman, and Synecdoche, New York, this ain't.
Come here. Yeah, Nick Cage smooch is good. You tell him! Nick Cage smooch is good!
Don't get me wrong, in the end, everything here is serviceable, but almost nothing stands out. For a film starring Nicolas Cage as a fictionalized Nicolas Cage who happens to have Nicolas Cage as an imaginary friend, being forgettable is almost criminal.
You're right. Yep.
You're 100% right.
If you're after the Swiss Army knife of acting, Nicolas Cage is who you call. Whether you need blunt and utilitarian, corkscrewing sharpness, or the all-purpose oddness of a trusty spork, he's the right guy for the job.
Nicolas Cage? That's fucking cool.
With one hell of a premise, 2 glorious leads, and 4 decades of Cage's cinematic spoils to plunder for inspiration, I so wish this was wonderful. The unbearable weight of massive talent isn't just a title, it's a one-line summation of why this film is kind of okay, but never great. A staggering man of heartbreaking genius, in a so-so work of generic indifference. Bringing Out the Dead is the most underrated Martin Scorsese movie for our Patreon producers Jennifer C, Claire MD, Beckio, Scared Confusion, and Nicholas Allaire-Revere, and they'd better bring Cage back for Spider-Verse 2 for all these amazing folks who support us over on Patreon. So what are your personal favourite Nicolas Cage performances, and if you managed to catch this film, what did you think of it? I hope I didn't come across as too harsh, I just think it could have been so much more. The best way to help the channel is to click the like button, share a comment down below, and pass these videos around wherever you can. If you're in a position to do so, you can also check out our Patreon at the link in the description below, and sign up to the In Frame Out Film Club, our private Discord server, and your name in the end credits of every episode. As always, thank you for watching. Until next time, this is In Frame Out.